Good evening, CV coach here. Nice to have everyone here. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. We've got a special guest tonight, just like we bring in a guest every week. I want to say thanks so much to everyone who has come in for this live stream. Mega shout out to everyone here. Mega shout out to everyone. Glad to have everyone here. Thank you so much for coming in. Share us out. Join us online if you're there. There, join us. We are live now. Mega shout out CK Media. Hello, sir. Good evening. Glad to have you here. Thank you very, very much. Hazel, NG Hong Kong, MML SOS to all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much. You know, we're having a great guy today who just, you know, he's got so much he wants to share with us, you know. But I am so glad to be here today. So glad. CK Media, mega shout out to you, sir. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. I hope the lighting is okay, sound okay, everyone okay, ready to get something in today. Thank you so much, Hazel. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Thank you very much for coming in. Glad to have you here. So I'm going to bring the guest in anytime from now. You know, I'm going to bring the guest in now. Wow. Let me see. First time here in your LS. Thank you so much, Hazel. Glad to have you here. How is it in Hong Kong? What time is it in Hong Kong now? CK Media, mega shout out to you. How was it today? How is everything? How is everything? I'm trying to chat with the guy that I'm going to bring in. Let me invite him in now. Copy link. Hazel, how are you? Glad to have you here. Raisy's Kitchen, glad to have you here. Mega shout out to you. Mega shout out to you. Inspirational by Marie. So glad to have you here. I've been thinking of how to get in contact with you so that I want you to come on my channel. Let me know if you're free or when you're free. And I'd really love to have you on set if it's okay by you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. No, thanks so much for coming in. How was the Sunday? How was your Sunday service? Hope you had a great time. You know, so glad to have you here. Thank you very, very much for coming in. I love the last video you did, which was in the car. Lovely words, you know, really touching. And you look so gorgeous, honestly. Well done. Yeah. Hello, Louie. Glad to have you here. Louie, how are you?
Hey, very good. Thanks. How you doing, Og? Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone.
Man, thank you so much. You know, we've got so many people around here. This is Louie. So let me tell you a little bit about Louie.
Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone.
Man, thank you so much. You know, we've got so many people around here. We're getting the feedback. Let me tell you a little bit about Louie. Hello, everyone. Man, thank you so much. You know, we've got so many people around. There's a little bit of feedback coming in.
There is. Is that something my end?
It could be. Let me see. Yeah, possibly.
Let me. Is that something my end?
It could be. Let me see. Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Say close the other app, Louie.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to play with
take your time.
The settings.
Yeah. Yeah. Say close the other app, Louie.
Yeah.
Just trying to play with take your time.
Oh.
Yeah. I can see here the whistling sound. Let me see. Much better now. No. There's still the whistling sound.
Yeah, what? Let's try.
Much better now. No. There's still the whistling sound.
What about that? Yeah. Can we? Is that better?
No. No. There's still the whistling sound.
What about that? Can we? Is that better?
Let me see. No. Absolutely.
What about that? Can we? Is that better?
Not yet. Are you using a phone?
No, I've got it on the laptop.
Yeah, it's supposed to be okay. Is there any other windows open apart from? Are you using a phone?
No, I've got it on the laptop.
It is. Have you got your YouTube app opened? Is there any other windows open apart from? Are you using a phone?
No, it's just YouTube.
I've got it on the laptop. Or it is the YouTube app. I think you need to close. Maybe you need to close the YouTube app.
Yeah.
No, it's just YouTube.
Yeah, let me come. Let me try and come back into it.
Yeah, no worries about that. Yeah, it's okay. Sorry, everyone, about that. You know, sometimes technical issue. You know, let me just take this off. I'm so sorry about that. Sometimes there's technical issue, you know. So yeah, it happens sometimes. Hi, Inspiration of Marie. So glad to have you. Jennifer Jackson, thank you so much for coming in. Glad to have you here. I'm so sorry we've taken about 10 minutes of your time, but don't worry, Louie will be back soon. So a little bit of some technical issues, but he'll be back soon. So while he's gone, let me just tell you a little bit about him. Okay, Louie, first of all, worked as a bricklayer for a long time from the age 16. Yeah, he's back now. Let me bring him in now. Okay. Hi, Louie, you're back.
How's that working? Is that better?
Yeah, better. Much better, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, much better. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah.
Far better, yeah, far better, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. I've got a little bit of an echo, but let's try. Let's give it a go. Yeah, apologies for that.
That's it, man. That's good. So glad to have you here, you know.
Okay, yeah.
So much. Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all. I was going to tell them about you, but I think you go ahead and tell us about yourself. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Can you hear me, OG?
Very well. I can hear you very well.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's take the earphones out. It seems to work better without the earphones. Okay, hi everyone.
Perfect, yeah.
Sorry for the delay. Hopefully you can hear me now. OG, all fine? You can hear?
Perfect, man. We can hear you perfectly.
Okay, fantastic. Good. It's really confusing. I've got the earphones doing one thing and it's going on over here as well. So thank you for the lovely introduction, OG. Thanks for having me on this show. I hope that we can get some great value out to your wonderful listeners. My name's Louie Slade. I was born in a little town called Gravesend in Kent, just outside of London. As OG was saying, I've spent most of my life on construction sites, which is something I really, really didn't enjoy. And I was always trying to find a way out of that because I hated it. Okay, it's not a bad job as such, but it just didn't suit me. It was destroying my back, and I really couldn't see a way out. Eventually, it just got to a breaking point. I couldn't physically do it any longer. I made the decision to actually go and make a change in my life, and it was through the repetitive studying of certain mentors that I've got, some really, really good ones. And just conditioning your mind to actually understand that anybody, every single one of you listening now, everyone in this world can actually do anything that they want. But you need to believe in yourself. You need to make the decision to do it. And, you know, I'm glad that I've done that because now I'm able to help other people do similar stuff with marketing. And, you know, where I am now is completely different to where I was even just 3 years ago.
Oh, wow. This is good, man. This is good. So tell us about that life. What, you know, I know you said you had some repetitive strain injury and things like that. But
so when you're laying bricks, you're out in the cold. I mean, it's funny because in the summer it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. But as soon as it gets to winter, you're out in the freezing cold for 8 hours a day, raining, snowing, and you're self-employed. So if you go home or if you're full all day, which is obviously a massive shame. So financially, it's no good because you can't plan anything around. You have to plan everything around the weather. Really, you lose about 3 months of each year because of the rain and the freezing temperatures. So you can't make plans. You know, you're always battling, trying to make up for the time that you lose in the winter. And it's just a harsh environment. You know, my back was in a terrible state. The lower back, because you're just bent over all the time. Even Steve, the Leave, remember one of our colleagues, old colleagues, OG. Even just a simple thing like tapping a brick, snapping a brick in half with the trowel, that the pinging gave him tinnitus. literally everything in that trade destroys your body. Even if you try to work safely, you are just destroying yourself. So, that is one of the main reasons I like to change, and also being reliant on the bosses that you work for. You're always having to just rely on there being enough work, and it just wasn't fun. It wasn't sustainable, and it wasn't how I wanted to live my life.
Oh wow, man! Now I know. I've known you for about 3 years or more now. You've come in from the bricklaying into health and safety, and now you're a marketing expert. Tell us about marketing or sales. I'd love to hear that.
So marketing or sales, yeah, it's been quite a change. I mean, I'll tell you first how I got into marketing. Obviously I was doing the health and safety, which I still continue, even though actually doing a lot of marketing for that company now as such, which is a great turnaround. I'll explain that maybe offline. But basically I started to do a network marketing opportunity that was introduced to be my friend, and I'd never done any sort of marketing before. I had my own companies when I was younger, because I was doing the brickwork, and I decided to make companies to try and just make the best of a bad situation. So my marketing experience was limited to business cards, leaflets, checker trade, all that sort of stuff. I started doing the network marketing, and you've got to contact a lot of people. You've got to register people, sign them up. You've got to build a team, all this sort of stuff. And it's a really good industry, but there's no training as such. And you are just really embarrassing yourself, and you're going the wrong way around it. So what I decided to do was to study marketing, again, from some incredible mentors. And that introduced me how to market properly. And something that actually shocked me, I was at a seminar one time, I think last year, and the guy said, "What is marketing?" And everyone put their hands up with a few suggestions, but the answer is actually really surprising. Marketing is all about disqualifying people, and disqualifying them quickly and effectively, because you need to get your message out to the right people in time, and you don't want to be broadcasting your stuff to everyone in the world, because number one, you're wasting time. You end up wasting money if you start running ads. There is no point engaging with people who aren't going to buy your product. And it's important to realize that the reason you're selling a product or a service in the first place is to enhance people's lives, because everybody always wants to increase their status. They want to, it's usually wealth, health, or relationships, the three core markets. They're looking for some sort of gain in those areas, and whatever it is that you have got needs to create those solutions. It needs to hit the pain points that they're suffering. You're going to either bring them from pain into pleasure, or away from pain into pleasure, or moving towards pleasure if they're not in pain. And it's two very different messages. So marketing and sales really is, for me, this pattern: serve, sell, close. A lot of people try to hard sell and close at the same time without serving. And when I say serve, you need to bring value. You need to, really connect with the people that you're trying to serve, your avatar, your dream customer. You need to serve them. Then I like to sell through storytelling, because that's a great way to gain rapport and to show the people that you've been called to serve that you've been where they have been before. And then if you do that correctly, it just leaves you a simple close at the end. Now, what I was doing before was trying to do all of that without serving, and trying to bundle that into a quick 15-minute call. So that's why it wasn't working very well.
Okay, brilliant. I love that formula: serve, sell, then you close. So it's SSC. So you serve first of all, you sell, then you close. But some people are just looking at, I want to sell, but they miss the first part of serving, because they want to sell. As they want to sell, they want to make money and leave quickly. So the most important thing is that the service part is more important, because without that part, you're jumping straight to the second part. Now, I want you to tell us about that service part, because you see, now I've got audience here. Everyone here, they are YouTubers, they are content creators, but sometimes we create content and then we just sell to people what we think they need. But what about that service part? That's the part I want to talk about. Tell me a little bit about that part, please.
Sure. So the serving part is all about value. First of all, the very, very first things that you need to do, and I'm sure a lot of you, but if not, then consider this. you need to make sure that your product solves problems, and you need to know exactly what those problems are. And to be able to do that, you need to define your avatar clearly. You need to know exactly who it is, because if you're trying to get your message out to every single person in the world, 99% of them are probably not going to listen, and rightly so. So once you define that avatar, and you need to know them better than they know themselves. A lot of people don't realize they've got problems. They're just happy going through life. They don't even realize there's anything the matter. You actually have to show them what the problem is, give them value towards solving that problem, but ultimately, to move forward, they need to make a commitment to work with you so you can really help them solve that problem. And that's not a bad thing. It's just purely because people who don't commit financially or with their time, they don't do anything with the content. I mean, I've got friends and family who I've given my stuff to for free, and no one done anything. but the people who pay, obviously, they've committed. So that's how that works. So it's really about transparency, value. Everything has to be value driven. Increasing curiosity, okay? Because another thing is, if you're explaining something to someone and they think they've taken enough information from you, they think they know it all, they're not interested in finding out anymore. So really, I like to give value in the serving stage through explaining the strategies towards solving these problems once I've identified the problems and helped them become aware of that, but not the tactics. Okay, the strategies are obviously the overarching strategic high level viewpoint, but then the tactics, you need the tactics. Okay, some people might take the strategies on their own and work with it, and that's great. I love to help people, but realistically, to get the tactics and to actually move forward, that's where the commitment comes in. And as long as you believe in yourself, you believe in your product and your service, and you've actually created something to help people, then you'll have no issues with that. But if the intention is just to sell to make money, then you'll always be chasing money.
Okay. Wow. Nice, man. I think there's a little bit now. You see, now let me tell you a little bit about Louie here. Louie is the marketing specialist at Og Slade Transcend, but he's going to tell us about that. And he's also a commercial director at Apple Drone, where they connect pilots to clients. So we're going to be hearing more of that very soon. But another question, Louie, that I want to ask, how do you make people interested in what you're offering or selling?
So I think really curiosity is the key there. Like it's similar. It ties in with the serving stage, because, like I said, they need to know what the problem is. So many people aren't aware at all, and it's not like a harsh. You've got this wrong with you. Your life is going to be terrible if you don't do this. It's just making them aware, and then obviously providing the value to give them an idea how they can move forward. Some motivational stuff. A lot of the stuff that you do is fantastic for that. Some motivation, some strategic overviews, but really it's in the curiosity. And the way we do that is through copywriting. So copy is all of the sales language, everything that you do, whether it's a post or a description in YouTube, an email, anything really, a sales letter, direct, videos even, this is all your copy. And the copy needs to be structured in a way where it arouses curiosity. It doesn't give too much away, but it has to be value driven. It has to be value driven, because people haven't got what am I looking for here? The attention span of people is about 5 seconds nowadays. They're scrolling through Facebook, they're scrolling through Instagram. Number one, they need to see something that sticks out at them. But if they're not going to get value from somebody before a sale or a pitch, you can't do that anymore, especially not in the UK, the US. Most countries now are waking up to that fact. You need to provide value. And if your intention is to provide value and help people, and just make sure you create curiosity by not giving too much away, then you're doing the right thing, and people want to find out more.
Wow. Curiosity, that's a very good word. I like that. So that means in the process of carrying out your sales, don't give out so much. So now, are you trying to tell me now that when I'm doing my video, I should give out just tip of what I want them to do or what I want them to learn, but not so much? Is that what you're saying? Because I do videos.
Yes, 100%. And don't think that that's don't think that's a manipulative maneuver at all. It's purely because you think about it like this. People think of sales as being quite a creepy, a hard sell environment. And it can be when it's done wrong. And this is something that I used to struggle with as well. when I was doing the network marketing, I didn't really believe in the product. So therefore I wasn't, you can't connect with your audience. You can't connect with the product. It's very awkward. But when you know that what you've got can help people, it becomes a disservice to them if you can't get your point across and if you can't close the sale, because if you are letting them down, if you can't push them over the edge to buy or to take action, then you're letting them down. And you've got to take that responsibility to help people to help them to help themselves.
Amazing. I made a video some months back on how to sell anything to anyone at anywhere at any price. And one of the things I said there was that you must believe in your products. And if you don't believe in your products, you can't convince another person to believe in your products, which is what you've just said now. Now, my next question is just close to that. Fear or faith? Choose. What should you do? Tell us about this.
Okay, so fear and faith both require you to believe in something that you can't see.
That's it.
And so when you're given the choice, what would you rather do? And I mean, this comes down to visualization, essentially, because everybody visualizes whether you know you're doing it or not. Okay, it's I mean, I take time to sit and visualize, and then throughout the day I'm visualizing. But even if you don't know what visualization is, you're still doing it every day. And unfortunately, 95% of the world are visualizing things that they don't want. Why would you, if you've got the choice, why would you choose to think about things you don't want when you can think about the things that you do? Because ultimately, the more you focus on that, the energy goes to that situation, and that is what you start to create in your life, in a nutshell. But you want to choose. You want to have faith in what it is that you're trying to create. You want to have faith in where you're trying to get to in life. And once you condition your mind to the point where a bad thought or a negative thought, because this is all a big paradigm battle. It's a battle within your own mind, which I'll come to later, perhaps. You choose faith. You choose faith, and you keep on repeating that constantly over and over and over again. And that is what allows you to move through. Because as soon as you start to accept fearful thoughts and thoughts of lack and limitation, then that is all you're going to get. And it's a difficult cycle to break out of.
Wow. So in other words, you attract what you think about. No.
Yes. But I want to emphasize though. I'm sure everybody here has seen The Secret or read The Secret, and everyone's familiar with the law of attraction. That's it.
Now, everyone's go on.
Good. I was going to say the law of attraction is great, but the law of attraction is actually a secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration, and that is what governs the law of attraction. So when The Secret came out, there's a lot of people going around who had become law of attraction experts who had never heard of the law of vibration. And you can't just tell people to think of something and then that will appear in your life. That is true, but you need to become the person that you want to be now. You need to put yourself in the vibration of what it is that you want to attract, and then everything that's in harmonious resonance with the vibration that you're in then starts to attract to you. It's not a simple case of just thinking it. You need to become that.
Wow. So now when we're talking about the law of vibration and faith, now when I talk, I create energy through my words. So in other words, my constantly repeating positive faith-filled words can give me what I want. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, 100%. They're affirmations, but you're right. You breathe life into the words that you speak, and you give energy to those affirmations. But you really need to believe it, because you could sit there all day and say, "I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich." If you need to believe it. You need to embody that. Literally, it's not so much you attract what you think; it's you attract what you are. So if you're saying affirmations and then acting against them, then that's the contradiction, and you will attract the contradiction.
Oh my goodness, this is lovely. This is lovely. I love this, because what? So it's not just sitting down in one place and just keep talking and talking without putting action to it. I wrote a book titled Changing Hopeless Situations. Now, we use this book. I use this book every time. The reason why I use it is because it's full of affirmation. But when I take those affirmations, I make them personal to myself.
Yeah.
I wrote this book. It's on Amazon. Anyone can get it. I make them personal to myself. I want to live in what I say, not just saying it. I want to see myself in it. Because if I don't see myself in it, it's just like traffic lights. Go, come, go, come, go, come. Nothing is really happening until a force, the police guy come in and says, "You know what? Stop. The car does not move in. The car have to stop." I love that. Now let's go to the next question. Problem or solution? Tell us about this.
Problem or solution. This was a post I'd done about perception, which is one of the mental faculties. So the faculties are your higher senses, not seeing, smelling, taste, touch, or all the physical senses. These are the higher senses. Imagination, the will, reason. You've got memory, perception, and intuition. So this is the solutions or problems is about your perception. Everything that happens in life just is. It's not good. It's not bad. It's completely neutral. It just is. It's that simple. But we're conditioned to immediately assign whether something's good or bad, and that's why I say if you're looking for the problems in life, not maybe actively seeking, but in your subconscious mind, you're driven to problems all the time. Then that is what's going to keep on turning up in your life. But if you're actively seeking solutions, the problems just become stepping stones, because every single thing that happens, again, it's neutral until you assign what it is, good or bad. But there's lessons to be learned in every single thing. And, some things are less desirable than others. Of course they are. But even the least desirable of all things, there is 100% some real good stuff to come out of that. But you need to be looking for it.
That's it. Wow. This is good. I love this. And I hope the audience are getting so much, because there is power in our word. That's what one of the people wrote there in Inspirational by Marie. There's power in our words, and what we focus on, we can get, but we have to always go for the solution. Overlook the problem, because sometimes in problems, there's a miracle or a testimony in it. But there's so much that we can gain. Well, I don't want us to stay so much there. There's another question. I'm just getting so much. You see, so many people have so many things going on in their lives. Tell us how to focus your energy on what you want out of life.
You ask yourself, what do you really want?
That's it.
And you take a pen, you take a piece of paper, and you write down what you want, and you write this down every single day. You write it out. You basically, you need to decide what it is that you want, okay? Because I'll tell you from experience, at one point a few years ago, I had 4 companies. And it might sound like a hypocrite because I have got 3 now, but I've managed to learn from those mistakes. There's no point having 4 or 5 things on the go if, number one, you're not passionate about them all. Number 2, if they're all just doing okay, you're better off just having 1 or 2 things that are excelling. And when you understand what you really want, you can look at these other things that you're doing in business or in life or in general, and you can think, right, this doesn't serve me. This can stop now. I don't need that. That's wasting my time. And basically everything that all of your commitments, all of your engagements, just think, once you've decided what it is that you want to do, what you really, really want, and don't be limited to if you think it's possible to do. Set the biggest, baddest goals that you possibly can, even if they're crazy, even if there's no visible route to them, that they're better goals. You just need to decide what it is you want. And then you can start to eliminate all the things that don't get you there, because you can look at the things that are happening in your life and say, does this help me? Does this help move me towards my goal? If it doesn't, get rid of it. If it does, then keep at it.
Wow, that's good. I love the word you used there. There is no need to stay on that okay line. I call it the okay track. Some people are just there. Well, it's okay. I'm okay. Why don't you move on to the excellent track? So get good at what you do. Now, okay, what about if somebody look at themselves and say, you know what, everything I'm doing is bringing some money for me, but not that much. What should I do in this case?
Then it just comes down to deciding what you're truly passionate about, because this is a problem that I had. I had a few things that were all going, and they were all profitable to some degree. I had to let 2 of them go, which was hard because they weren't engagements that really, made that fire inside me. There was no passion with them. They were just commercial exercises that were bringing money. But money isn't the goal. Money is there to help you become comfortable. And the more money you earn, the greater impact you can have. Okay, money shouldn't be a goal. It's a resource to help you achieve your goal, but money itself is not a goal. And if that is your goal, then you're going to struggle, because you'll always be chasing it, no matter how hard you try. If the goal is impact legacy, almost even, you know, genuinely helping people, then that is actually what brings the money. If you're following what you're passionate about, then you will make more money. But if you're doing something you're passionate about and 3 or 4 other things because you like the cash flow, then you will maybe not come unstuck, but you'll struggle more than you need to. Sometimes you need to let things go because they're not helping towards your main goal. And it has to be one main goal that you're working towards, the vision almost, and then a series of smaller goals that you can break down, reverse engineer, you know, from years to quarters to months to weeks to days, the stepping stones to help you get there. Because the vision itself needs to be so big and scary and exciting that you can't see a way to get there. If you can see a way to get there, then it's not a goal. You know, I could say my goal is to tie my shoelaces. I know how to do that. It's not a goal. Or my goal is to get to a certain place at a certain time. If there's no traffic, or if I've already filled up the car with petrol, then I can do it. That sort of thing. It needs to be something that's so big, exciting, and scary. You've got no idea how you're going to achieve it. It's not our job to know that. It's just our job to decide what it is we want, and then to have faith, to trust, and to put the work in, and then just, you know, have faith that the universe or God or whatever you want to call that source is going to help you to find your way.
Wow. This is just amazing. You know, money is not a goal, it's a source. But some people have made money a goal. They are pursuing money so much that, you know, it looks like, you know what, if I don't have this money now, it means I'm broke. But money is not a goal. It's just a source to where you want to get to. Now, look at this. You're managing quite a number of businesses. How do you cope?
Yeah, I've just recommended that people don't run lots of businesses. But this is, I mean, these are all things that I'm passionate about, and I've managed to automate them to some degree so that I don't have to spend my time, you know, constantly working with all of them as such. It allows me to then focus on my main business, which is the marketing coaching, and they're all loosely related to marketing anyway. So it's, you know, they do help me towards my goal. The way I do this is just by blocking. Like I said, I had the vision. I know what it is that I'm looking for. At this moment in time, it's crazy to even think how it's going to happen, but that's so I don't. I just, you know, I have that faith. But then the goals are broken down. So I know what targets I need to hit for each year. I know what targets I need to hit for each quarter, for each month, for each week. And every night before I go to sleep, I write 6 things out that I need to do in the day, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. And every day I wake up, I do them. I write them down the night before, I wake up and I do them. I never wake up and think, what should I do today? I get up and I know exactly what I'm doing. And that allows you to focus and move forward. And also, if you have got multiple things on the go, whether that's businesses or life or kids, you know, whatever it is, everyone's busy. It's to block out chunks of the day, you know, hour slots or half-hour slots, and just, you know, really focus in that hour slot. It's called Pomodoro technique. So if you can set a little timer and you know you've got 1 hour on this particular task, you're not on your phone, you're not doing other things. If something pops into your head, write it down, but continue with that task. And when the timer goes off, you stop the task, whether you finished or not. It trains your brain to focus, because your brain starts to learn that I've only got an hour for this, you know, and you don't want to leave stuff half finished, but it sharpens you up and it allows you to move forward. So, and also lots of sacrifice at the moment, because, you know, they're things that I want to do. They're moving me in the right direction. The vision is more beautiful than where I am currently. And, you know, I won't stop until I've achieved that for me and my family and everybody that I have the pleasure to work with.
Perfect, man. This is good. This is good. You've said so many things today, you know. Now, number one, your vision should be so big, bigger than you. If it's not bigger than you, then it's not a vision. It should be bigger than you, so that you think about how you're going to achieve it. Then the God and the faith that you have will be the one to lead you through. And then, and one other thing, you know, I know we worked together for about 3 years and about 4 months. I had about 4 or 5 notebooks filled out with to-do lists every day. Till now, I have what I'm going to do, so I don't get stressed. Any other thing comes in, it comes right in the bottom. It can help me manage my time, manage my mind, because we work as health and safety consultants, and we get so many projects going on. But the writing down makes us manage all the projects that we get. One other thing is this. Now, apart from you're working, you've got your own business, you're working for someone, you're being paid, you have your own business. Tell us about the benefit of having a passive income.
Of course. So if you've got the choice of employing a person who needs to eat and sleep and have breaks and stuff like that, or your own time, which again is limited, or you can employ money to work for you. And this is either through investment or through automating businesses. You know, there's network marketing is another example of passive income. You do have to work very hard to set that up, but the money doesn't sleep. The money doesn't eat. The money is an obedient servant for you. And that's how it always has to be. Like, well, don't forget, you are the master and the money is the servant. Don't ever get that confused, because otherwise you're going to have a really tough time. The money can work for you. It's, you know, it hasn't got a rest. And if you've got it in the right places, or if you've got the right automation set up, or you've got assets that can, you know, work round the clock, for example, a video sales letter or something like that with a funnel, then that is going to generate a passive income. Because if you can do 8, 9, 10 hours a day, sometimes more, it's limited. You can only work that amount of time. But when you've got assets and when you've got money working for you passively, that is 24/7 around the clock. You know, you can wake up in the morning and see that your bank's made an extra £200, or even the tenner. It doesn't matter what it is. It's money that you didn't physically have to do. So you need to just leverage. You need to leverage your time, because, and one thing as well, nobody can manage time. You know, time can't be managed. It's you have to manage the activities that you do within that time to make sure you're getting the most out of what you're doing.
Perfect, man. This is good, man. You know, I wrote a book some years back. I wrote a book some years back on timing, and one of the things I said in the book is that you can't manage time. How are you going to manage time? It's 24 hours for everybody. Both the rich, the poor, the sick, the lame, they've all got the same time. So it's the same time for everyone. So so when I hear that people are managing time, I always want to think about it. What exactly are you managing? Are you managing your activities, or you're managing your time? You can't manage the time. Everybody gets the same time. Now, you see, I know you've got some businesses here. Let me take that off. Tell us a little bit about, let me bring one of your businesses up that we have here. That's it there. Tell us about Og Slade Transcend.
So Og Slade Transcend started out as a coaching business and also accountancy, because that's another thing that I learned when I had my construction businesses. I enjoyed the accountancy and the managing the business side of things, but not necessarily the work. So I became an accountant only at an entry level. And my original offer was to help people start companies, because I'd done that so many times with construction and boat parties and festival tickets and all this stuff before. So when I first went into coaching, it was quite broad. It was quite vague. I didn't really know what my niche was or who I wanted to serve. And trying to help people start companies, there's only a certain amount of people who want to do that, I suppose. And especially with IR35 coming out, it's making that market smaller and smaller. So then I started as a business coach, but again, it's quite a broad term. And as I said before, you need to know your avatar. You need to have your offer. Everything has to be really funnel vision to exactly who you're trying to help. So eventually with the market studying that I was going through and, really, really loving that, Og Slade Transcend has now transformed into a marketing, I wouldn't say a marketing consultancy, but a marketing coaching platform for me to be able to help share what I've learned about funnels and all my marketing journey so far, and just to helping other people who are online and traditional business to some extent, but to help people who are online to promote themselves, to promote their services, to do it in the right way, and to ultimately convert more sales and get more leads.
Wow, this is brilliant. Now I'm going to bring another business up that you're currently running. Applied Drone.
Ah, yeah, brilliant.
So what is it about?
So this,
you're the commercial director here. Yeah, go on.
This is really exciting. I mean, this is one that I couldn't turn down. Another colleague of ours, Robert Moore, OG, remember, he's back now, actually.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
He approached me because he wanted help setting up a company for drones. So I thought nothing of it. I thought he just wanted to fly drones at the weekend, nothing special. So we sat and had a meeting, and he showed me what he wanted to do, and he even showed me the platform, the algorithm that they created already. Which basically is an algorithm that connects pilots to clients. It's like the Uber of drones. The client can go on to online, select the service they want, anything from roof surveys, 3D modeling, what else have we got? Agricultural services, trying to get into wind farms, wedding photos. They select what they want. The algorithm finds the pilot. It's automated. The invoices, the payments, everything just runs itself. And, you know, he showed me the plan and he showed me his vision. Asked me how much. And I just said, I'll do it for free, but I want shares, because it just looks incredible. So
brilliant.
And then they, it progressed more and more. I got more and more involved. And then ultimately they offered me the commercial director's position, which I take with open arms.
Wow. That's good. That's brilliant. That's good. So they offered you money. You said, no, I don't want money. I'll do it for free, but I want shares in the company. Yeah, right. Because then you can always get dividends as the company moves on.
Yeah, I would have been so disappointed if I charged him £100 and then that was it. Can you imagine?
Now, you told me recently about another business that you're currently operating, which is your partner in Egyptian UK luxury cars. What is it about?
Okay, so this one, there's a funny story behind this. I've got a new offer with WORKSHEET Slade Transcend, which is a high ticket. It's different, slightly different to what I've been doing before, and I've started marketing in a different way. And when you're trying to change habits and change beliefs and change your actions so much, your paradigm kicks in and starts to fight back. It's like your ego. It starts to try and push you back into comfort when you're actually trying to break through into freedom. And it's called the terror barrier. Everybody has it. But if you haven't got a goal, you can't hit the terror barrier, because you need the goal, you need the direction. And this was happening to me about 3 weeks ago. I was hitting the terror barrier. It was trying to tell me to go back into the comfort zone. It's trying to tell me stuff about that I couldn't do what I was trying to do, and that I shouldn't be doing this, and that no one's interested in what you're trying to say. It's just a mental game. But I broke through it this time, because in previous times, sometimes I've gone back with other stuff that I've done and I haven't broke through. But this time I thought, no, I'm doing it now. I really want this. My vision's powerful. I am making this happen. And I set about changing my beliefs. And, you know, when you get into that point and you're visualizing and your belief systems become so empowering and so strong, everything changes. And because I'd changed my vibration, I started getting into greater actions, which cause reactions, which then cause the results in your life to change. And one of the things that I managed to attract to me was this business opportunity, which is, you know, it's incredible. And I won't lie, my colleague's got everything up and running. You know, it's his business essentially, but I am the link because of, you know, because he's not English, and it needs to be a UK company to take advantage of the trade deal. So I'm very fortunate in that regard. But you know, I didn't just get that as a gift randomly. I've changed my mindset, and I've brought that to my life. And that is projecting 7 figures in the first 12 years, which is fantastic. So, sorry, in the first 12 months, not 12 years. So, yeah, I'm super grateful for that. I don't want to say fortunate, because we make our own luck in this life. But, you know, even that was marketing in an extent, because of the relationship that I built over the years. And I will do some marketing for that company, but I'll just need to have it translated into Arabic. But Ogie, maybe you could help me with that.
I could help you. But, you know, I can help you with the Arabic, because I speak Arabic. But the thing is this, I want shares in the company.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Don't pay me for the services, I'm okay, but I want shares in the company. I want to come in as a partner.
That's it. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
That's it. You know what? This is good. You know, I'm so glad that many people are getting things done, and the session is so packed. And we still got some more questions, you know, that we're going to go through. But people are sending their comments. We got like close to 19 people watching right now. They call it 19 million on YouTube. But I want to thank the sponsor of today's program, because somebody had to sponsor me to sponsor the channel to come on. And thank you so much. That sponsorship came from Raisy's Kitchen. Thank you so much, Raisy's Kitchen. And then next 2 weeks, I'm bringing a professor, assistant professor of medicine, who's going to be talking about the COVID-19 vaccine, to take or not to take. So guys, get ready for 2 weeks time. He's going to be here. He's a professor of medicine based in US, and he's going to be coming in to talk to us about the COVID-19 vaccine. Do we have to take it or not take it? Well, let's wait for them. Louie, thank you so much for coming in. But we still got more questions, man. Look at this. The highest reward, you wrote this, the highest reward for somebody's effort is not what they get from it, but what they become by it. Tell us more about this. Thank you so much.
100%. And yeah, thank you, OG. I'm having a great time. Thank you for this. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So goals are to grow. Okay. The idea of a goal is not to get something from it. The idea is to grow. And that's why I said before, it needs to be a C-type goal, which is one that you can't actually see the route to achieving, because then the only way you can do it to actually achieve that goal is to grow and to increase your awareness. The only reason people earn £20,000 a year is because they're not aware of how to earn 50. That's all it is. It's the awareness. If they were aware of how to earn £50,000 a year, then I'd be surprised if they weren't doing that. So what I mean by that is you need to set huge goals. This is so important. You have to. And in fact, if you haven't set a goal, then after this call or tomorrow, after this call, this is how important it is. Really think about it. What do you really want? What do you really want? And write that down and start to become emotionally ideated with the idea of that, and start to build a picture in your mind, and visualize that regularly. Without the goal, then nothing else can occur. So,
oh my God,
you grow into the goal. That's what I'm trying to get at. You need to grow into the goal as opposed to focusing on just getting the goal.
Man, this is get a goal, become passionate about the goal, go for the goal, man. So much, now guys, you know what, I'll put this as a live stream, but I'm going to now put this particular live stream into modules so that people can listen to it, because this is not just a live stream, this is a lesson for life. There's so much that you're giving out here, Louie, so much that it's like I'm just learning every day. I'm learning something even as I'm listening to you now. I used to keep to-do list, but now you said, why don't you have 3 things to do, morning, afternoon, evening, and then you have something that you're going to do when you wake up. Another question I just close to that is this, you don't have to know how you're going to do it. I know you've discussed this before. You just have to believe you can. Tell me more about this, please.
Exactly that. So our goal, our role in life is not to know how we're going to get somewhere. We just need to give direction to where we want to go. And then it then becomes the job of a power that's greater than any one of us. We are all connected. We are all part of this one universe, this one world. Okay. And it's that power that's greater than us that actually brings forth the goods that we seek. Okay. And like I said, as long as you define what it is that you want, because otherwise you're like a ship without a rudder. You're not going to go anywhere, and you'll probably just crash into some rocks, most likely, or be lost at sea. But as long as you've given direction to that energy, to that thought energy that flows to and through us, then you surrender almost. You just have faith, and you just let that out into the universe. You move into action. You work towards your goal every single day, even if it's just 10 minutes. You do something to move towards it. It's not your job to know when it's going to happen, because we don't know the gestation period of an idea. We know how long it takes for carrots to grow. We don't know how long it takes for an idea to grow. But as long as you've got the faith, and as long as you're moving towards it with the right intentions and trust in the process, then ultimately you will reach that goal. And again, you just need to believe. You just need to believe that is so. Here's an exercise as well that I found helped me with the terror barrier a few weeks ago. I wrote down on one side of the paper all of the limiting beliefs. So I am confident, but the paradigm is a collection of habits and beliefs, and it's so powerful and so strong. I had to write down all of the negative beliefs on one side, and then write down on the other side of the page the truth. The truth being that the opposite of the negative beliefs. And when you drill those into your head over and over again, you start to condition your mind. When something bad pops in, within a split second, you've rejected it. Okay, because think of it like this: you've got your conscious mind, which is your educated mind. This is where you can think, you originate ideas, you can accept and reject ideas. Now, if something comes into your mind, into the conscious mind, and you think, "Oh, this isn't going to serve me," you just you reject it. You don't need it, because the conscious mind is the gatekeeper to the subconscious mind. That is where the paradigm sits, and that is actually where that's the control center for you. The subconscious mind is what moves the body into action. It's vibration. And then those actions determine the results. So if you're just letting any old terrible thought come in and you're not rejecting it, then you're allowing it into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, and it will grow.
Poof, man. So you get a sheet of paper this way, and then you split into two. So one side, all the limited belief, and on this side, the truth.
Exactly.
And then you focus on the truth and let all the limited beliefs die. Because the thing is this, the more the truth clouds your mind, the better you are at going towards the goal that you want to achieve. But the less the truth comes in, you accept anything that comes in, it destroys the mind. Wow. This leads to the next question. Someone out there is just hanging on the situation of life itself. What's your advice for the person?
If they're just hanging on to life itself. So what the intention behind that post was how to deal with overwhelm. So when you're overwhelmed, it's just because you haven't got, it's not that so much you've got lots of stuff to do. That could be true as well. It's you haven't put order to everything. Okay. And heaven's first law is order. When you've got order in your mind, in your visualization, in your activities every day, then that order is the sort of state that you want to be in. You want to be in an orderly, relaxed state, because that's where your creative energy is able to flow. So if you are overwhelmed in what you're doing, you just need to stop for a moment and you need to create a routine that allows you to move forward and do everything that you need to do without feeling that overwhelm. Because otherwise you are just clinging on to life. You're clinging on and you're just hoping that it's not even a strategy. It's just hope. And that's not going to get you. That's not going to get you far at all. So, it's just about having that routine and knowing exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve, and just breaking it down into steps that you can actually pull it off.
Wow. You know what Jesus did? You said something. You said heaven's first law is order. When Jesus was going to feed the 5,000 people, what he did was this. He told them, let the men and the people sit in groups. So the men sat in their group, different groups. Then he now took the 3 loaves or the 5 loaves and the 3 fishes, prayed on it, and then broke it and multiplied it, and 12 baskets remained. Because why? The first thing in life is order. When the mind is confused, different things happen. There's a place in the Bible, James says, the book of James said, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Because the mind is here, there, here. It's like you're trying to do everything at the same time. Which leads to the next question. Someone out there is on the road to greatness, but is being held back by failure or ridicule, especially ridicule. When you are online, you see different people say different things, try to portray you as a wrong person. What do you have to tell them?
For one last thing on order as well, that you just reminded me.
Yeah.
A confused mind will never buy. So when you're marketing, not only do you need to be in order yourself, you need to place your prospects so that they are also in a state of calmness and order as well. Because if they're confused, they will not buy. They will not buy. They need to have clarity. This is why transparency and value is so key. If they're confused, they won't buy it. It's as simple as that. So you need to put people into that state as well as being in it yourself. And then your question on the ridicule, this is going to happen. Okay. I mean, your self-image is a part of your paradigm. It's how you see yourself. And that image of yourself governs the results that you get in your life. You could try so hard. This is why people work really, really hard and they don't get anywhere. Okay. So that self-image needs to be updated. When you do that, you decide who you want to be, the person you want to become, and you ask 2 questions. Number 1, are you able? And that's a yes. It doesn't matter who you are. Everyone you listening to this, everyone in the world, everybody's able. No one alive can guess as to the potential that you've got, not even yourself. So you're definitely able. And then the second question, perhaps more importantly, is are you willing? Are you willing to do what has to be done? Are you willing to move where you have to move to achieve your goal? Or are you willing to do anything that it takes? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to unlearn, more importantly, unlearn some of the stuff that we've learned in the past that's no good? And one of those questions one of the sub questions is, are you willing to accept ridicule and everything that comes with that on the pursuit of your goal? And if you're not willing to accept the ridicule that comes with it, and you will get it, then you're not going to go far. I mean, Carl Benz, who created the first Benz motor vehicle, You know, he used to take that out at night so that nobody could see him and nobody could laugh at him. He'd take it out at night so no one could see him. He couldn't even get started most times. He'd have to push it all the way back to his workshop. Everyone was laughing at him, but he didn't stop. He just kept on going. He allowed himself to be ridiculed. He tried to avoid it at night time. But, you know, and eventually he created that. It was patented in 1886, I think, or something like that. Yeah. And he created his dream. He had a dream in his mind and he made it a reality. But anything you do in life, I have people now who say terrible things to me. I'm only trying to help people, you know. But this happens. One of my mentors earns 25 million a year. He has people abusing him on his ads, abusing him, saying that it's all fake, like stuff like that. It's, you know, it's just part of the process. And you know, God or the universe tests you. If you're going to give up your beautiful dream because someone took the mickey out of you or called you a nasty name, then you're not perhaps not worthy.
Wow, you will be tested. So it shows that you're going to be tested. Either people ridicule you or people laugh at you or make jest of you, but you've got a dream. You've got to focus on your dream. Whether they're calling you names online, you've got to focus on the dream. Wow, this is amazing. You know, you said something very important. You said even the person who's going to buy from you needs to be in order. If not, they don't trust the product. Man, this is now. If someone is watching me here and you've not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscription button and hit the notification button so that we can, when people come in, you can always be notified. Now, the next question, Lou, is this: who are the real winners out there? Who are the real winners out there?
The real winners are those who have set a goal, they've become emotionally involved with it, and they've accepted that they're willing to do whatever it takes, and that they're the ones that persist in doing it. You know, Napoleon Hill, in this great book, I have this on my desk because I read this all the time. Yeah, everyone has to read this 3 times in a row from front to back, and then just refer to it. It's on my desk. Sometimes I'll read it for 5 minutes, 2 paragraphs, study. You know, he says in that book that. Now I've forgotten what I was going to quote out of the book. I'll come back to it anyway. The real persistence, that's it. Yeah. So he studied, I think, I can't remember, it was a lot, hundreds, possibly thousands of the most successful men in America. And he found that the difference mainly between the successful and the non-successful, there are other attributes, but it's just persistence. I mean, even with like creating the incandescent bulb, how many times did that fail? About 10,000 times. You haven't failed 10,000 times. You've just discovered 10,000 ways that don't work. You know, and with persistence as well. The story of the miners who were 3 foot from gold. They got all this machinery. They went and joined the gold rush in California back in the 19th century, I believe. Had some success, but then it dried up. And they kept going, and eventually they quit. They sold off all the machinery for next to nothing to some a poor man. He came in with a surveyor, and the surveyor said it's 3 feet away, and he struck gold on day one. That's how close they were. And you know, the guy who sold up and the guy who gave up ended up dying broke, whereas the guy who inherited that after just a day's work had one of the biggest finds ever. Wow! So the real winners are those that don't give up, and it's easy to give up when you look at through your sensory factors. If you've set a goal to, I don't know, to impact 1,000 lives and to make £1 million, and then you're sitting there and you're not doing that, that's the reality of now. If you live from those senses, which we have become accustomed to, then you start to think thoughts that are in resonant with the situation that you're in, and then that starts to generate the feelings of, you know, failure or limitation, which then create the actions, which create the results, and it continues in that cycle. But no matter where you are now, you need to live from that vision. You need to be in that vision. That's why I do this once at night, once in the evening, a visualization session. But then throughout the day, I'm always, you know, I'm living that life now, because you have to. Otherwise, you can't attract it. You have to ignore the current results.
That's it, man. This is no. The session is so loaded. I feel like, you know, after this session, I'm going to bring you back again, if possible, because, you know,
happily.
A friend of mine asked me, said, "Ogie, how do you manage to stay the way you are?" I said, "I meditate a lot. I spend quality time meditating on the Word of God, meditating. I infuse myself with positive, faith-filled world that I can make it. I can be anything I want to be. And if you're out there, you've not read Napoleon Hill's book, you better go and read it. And then the book about the story of the miners, I will advise you to get Acre of Gold. Get the book. It's sold in millions. The man went around the world preaching the gospel of the acres of gold. But try and get it. It's an amazing book. You know, now I want to say this. Louie, you've said so much to us. Now, Louie can take you as a client. You know, he's ready to give you some free section. Then you go with him. But there is so much that you can gain from him. So much. Because now we've just got like an hour and some minutes to just talk about this. But there is so much that you can gain from him. Louie, tell us about a session with you. Tell us what would the session be for someone who is watching now to say they want to come in contact with you. What would be the benefits?
So I usually do a consultation call just to give some clarity to where people are heading in their life. You know, I don't work with people who are not committed to making that change, and I don't want to take money from someone unless I know we're a good fit. Which is again something that a lot of people in sales don't do. They're just concerned about the money, and that's not a good thing. I mean, with my high ticket offer is, you know, we go through, we help to set up your avatar, we show you how to market properly, introduction to funnels, automating the sales process, scripts, and the psychology behind the sales calls themselves. But the foundation is always on mindset. Sorry, because you know, mindset is 95% of everything. It's only 5% technique or 5% strategy, if you will. The mindset has to be right, because you could have the greatest product in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself and the products, then you're not going to make any sales. So, yeah, I offer like a 3-month program where we really go step by step all the way through, and I just help in every way to help you build up your processes to move forward. And I don't really mess around with any low ticket items anymore, to be honest, because they're not sustainable. You have to spend so much money on ads to sell something for, I don't know, £250, for example. And, you know, people who spend £250 don't put the effort in because it's £250. So, so that's what we're moving forward through now. It's basically an upgrade in belief, an upgrade in mindset, you know, raising awareness. Then we go into the marketing module. We break down funnels. You know, I have funnel scripts that I share as well. And we work on offer, avatar, all that good stuff. And then the final module is then sales, which focuses on sales calls, different methods of selling, and your close, of course, as well. And just making sure that everybody understands how to do things the right way, really. Well, not even the right way, because, you know, there is no right and wrong way, but to market effectively, to generate more leads and to close more sales.
Perfect, man. This leads to the next question. Now, someone is coming to you to learn all this. How can you become a 6-figure coach without certification?
Okay, so
life coach.
yeah, with so the thing is, something that I believe is not good in society is when people go to school. You know, I've got nothing bad to say about school. People go to university and stuff like that. But it's not so much learning. It's more listening. It's more because you listen with your ears, but you learn with your emotions. Now, personally, reading loads of books and studying, and I've got nothing bad to say about it, obviously, but you're listening, you're taking it in, and then you're tested, and you do well in the test, and you're given the reward, which is, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But to really learn, I believe you have to get emotionally connected with the information you're getting. And then you learn through implementing it. You learn through the growth of actually doing this. And, you know, I've got 2 mentors, 2 incredible mentors. They're both 8-figure earners. Neither one of them went to school.
Wow.
Okay, they have no formal business education, no formal, more often all the time now. A lot. Okay, yeah, we're back. Brilliant. So, I mean, I put it this way: I went to grammar school, but I was thrown out. I was one of the earliest people in the history of that school to be thrown out because I was terrible at school. But you know, I'm quite happy with where I'm going. So, it's all down to belief. If you've got something that you believe can help people, and you're crystal clear on who it is you want to help and how you want to do it, you know what their pain points are, you know what keeps them up at night. and you've got a solution for it that you trust and you believe in, you don't need accreditations or certifications. But what you do need to do as a minimum is to study your craft. Okay. You know, I love marketing, so I continuously learn marketing. I go to coaches myself. I'm always being coached by people because, you know, it helps me to stay on top of where I'm going, and it helps me to make sure that I'm, you know, ahead of the game still, or at least not falling behind. So you have a duty to yourself and to your clients to study what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, you haven't got to go and get an accreditation to prove it.
Perfect, man. This is good. This is good. Think back to when you were 17 years old. What would you have done differently? What was your advice for a 17 years old listening now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I suppose it's a funny one because, you know, I got a lot of stuff out of the way when I was younger, lots of fun, crazy holidays, all that sort of stuff. I don't regret the way things have worked out now. And I do believe there's an element of your youth where you need to get that life experience. You need to get that real world experience, you know, being in sort of crazy situations, crazy scenarios, just to say that you've experienced life in that sense. So I probably wouldn't detract too much from the way things worked out. But I would definitely convince or aim to convince anyone who's, you know, a teenager still to study who and what they are. Okay, because, you know, we're a massive energy. Our body is just the transport for the soul. And, you know, too many people nowadays think that this is it, that this is just our physical reality. We are our bodies. We're souls that live inside of a body. And that brings an enormous amount of responsibility, an enormous amount of freedom and creative potential that we're just not aware of. So I'd encourage youngsters to study who and what they are, and to study how the mind works. Because for me, that's the most important thing of everything. If you can get your mindset right, you'll be successful in any profession. Even if you're not that good at it, you'll still be successful because your attitude, your mindset, your beliefs, and ultimately the way that you program your subconscious mind. So that'd be the advice. But at the same time, if you're going to enjoy life, you know, not recklessly, but enjoy life, do that, get it out of the way. But always have a mind to study and have a goal. The sooner you can discover your vision and set goals, and your purpose is important. That sometimes takes a bit longer to realize. The sooner you can get those locked in and start working towards a goal, then the faster you'll have success.
Perfect, man. Wow. Man. That is a class on its own. That particular topic is a class on its own. Because the thing is that once you can understand your mind, you know, you understand who you are, where you're going, you have the right mindset, there is nothing that can distract you from what you want to achieve. Which leads us to the next question. If hard work makes people rich, why is everyone working 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. not a millionaire?
Well, Hill said in the book that, in fact, let me read this out because I think this is a really, really good quote.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how it goes. Where is it? Hill said, here we go. Yeah, so Hill said, riches, when they come in huge quantities, are never the result of hard work. When you begin to think and grow rich, you will observe that riches begin with a state of mind, with definiteness of purpose, with little or no hard work. So what he means by that is, it's not necessarily the hard work that gets you the riches. Okay, it's a state of mind, and it's working smart as well. So like I said before, if you're able to leverage your time with automated assets, or you're able to leverage your time with money working for you, either through investments or you know, smart use of money, then that doesn't necessarily have to be hard work. You know, if you're able to draw dividends from various places without really doing so much, then you could work 10 hours a week, perhaps. I mean, you need to get to that point, obviously. There's always hard work. I love hard work, don't get me wrong. But thinking that hard work on its own will get you to where you want to be is foolish. And, you know, 9 to 5, I never really suited 9 to 5 anyway. But when you're employed, then, you know, you pay tax immediately. You pay as you earn. If you're a business owner, then it's the other way around. You have more benefits in terms of tax efficiency and whatever else. And ultimately, you want to be building your dream. You know, it's I'm all for employment, don't get me wrong, but it's that's someone else's dream. So it really just comes to building your own. Once you've found something that you're passionate about, you don't ever work a day in your life anyway. You know, I'm super busy with all my ventures. I am focusing obviously on the coaching because of my clients. I love working with them, but yeah, I have got lots of stuff going, but I'm passionate about it all. It's not work. I might do 16 hours some days. I'm not tired. I love it. So you know, it's just finding what you're passionate about, and then it's not work. Then you know, it's a dream, because every single one of us should be living life doing what we want to do. You know, if you don't know what it is that you want to do, then how can you live that way? And you know, it's just about living with passion. That's the main thing. Find out what you want to do and do it, and it's not work. Then it's fun.
Wow. I just love this. One of my best messages every time when I'm preaching to people, either in UK, overseas, wherever I go, when I'm talking to people, I always tell them something: enjoy your life, because you've only got one life to live. When anyone is 6 feet under, the enjoyment stops. Enjoy your life. Enjoy everything you're passionate about. There is no harm in going on that adventure. Come on, enjoy your life. You know, when I look at my life, I'm happy because I've not missed 1 second of not enjoying my life. I've traveled around the world. I've gone to different places, from Nigeria to Egypt, everywhere, to Niger, to Tunisia, everywhere, Hong Kong, China. I've gone everywhere, because the most important thing is this: enjoy every moment of your life. Louis, just one last word for someone here. You know, there could be somebody out there who, you know, is just thinking, how am I going to go about this? You've told us so many things. They've heard so many things. Any last word for someone out there?
Yeah, sure. And it'll be repeats of what I've said throughout this, but there's nothing wrong with that, because repetition is the mother of all learning. It's simply to build a beautiful, beautiful image, a vision of what you want your life to be, break it down into goals that make it more achievable, you know, over the course of time, and to define the image of yourself, of the person you want to become, and you have to become that person right now. You can't wait until something happens to say that you're happy. Happiness comes from within. You need to be the person you want to become right now. And when things are going against you, you need to just remember and live from that beautiful vision, that beautiful image that you have built within your mind. And you know, when you project it onto the screen of your mind, you become emotionally attached. That's what impresses it on the subconscious. And once you've done that so many times over and over again, you'll eventually defeat the paradigm, and you'll create a new paradigm. But this one will be one that serves you, and it'll be one that actually moves you in the right direction as well. And I think also I would share, this is a fantastic book for visualization.
Wow, Your Invisible Power. Wow, Genevieve Behrend. Okay.
Behrend, yeah. So Thomas Troward is a fantastic author. He wrote like the Edinburgh lectures, the Dory lectures. He's a great author from the early 20th century. And Genevieve Behrend was his only student, and she manifested that experience herself. So that's a great book. It's only short. You know, you could read that in a few hours, but the power in that, it's one of those ones you can't just read it. I've had to study it paragraph at a time. It's beautifully written. I definitely recommend that, because once you've built the image, you need to know how to visualize. And when you do, you know, the image of how you want to be, how you want your life to be, who you want to become, it's a place. You know, when you visualize, you'll go into that place. If you can think it in your mind, then you can hold it in your hand. And the more you do that, the more you'll start to see out of reality, forming it on the model of your imagination. And the share is if you're on this journey already, and you come across the terror barrier, when your paradigm tries to send you back to work, back into the comfort zone, so you don't proceed, you've got to just break through it, because the treasure that you seek, the treasure that you seek, is in the cave you fear to enter.
Wow. The treasure that you seek is in the cave that you fear to enter. My God, man. You know what I'm going to do, guys? The books that you've recommended here, Think and Grow Rich, Acre of Gold, The Power of Believing, just the one you sent now, I'm going to put them in the link so everybody can get in contact with it. Now, on this channel, I bring in people who have been able to use their life to change things, change themselves. That's what I bring in every day, and I'm so glad here. Some comments here. There's a comment here that says, so true, your product is supposed to solve problems. That came in from Inspirational by Marie. Then another comment here from Oro Vista. I said, the law of attraction is powerful. Very well, very well. Then Inspiration by Marie said, words are powerful. And then she said, the Bible says there is life and death in the tongue. Yeah, the power of life and death is in the tongue. And then Oro Vista says something, said, need to believe it and work hard on it too. Yeah, you have to work hard on it. Then Inspiration by Marie said, meaning there is definite power in the tongue. We can create so many things in our life by the words we say. Jennifer Jackson said, yes, I also believe that you find yourself doing it with your whole strength. If you believe, you can convince others. This was when you were talking about sales, so many comments here. Yeah, and a new member came in and joined us. Somebody sold us, get some chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, some people made it look like money is a do or die affair. Yeah, that's Jennifer Jackson from Nigeria. Oro Vista is from the Philippines. Rena Ngoso is from Germany. So many people came in today. Dadibella is from Germany. Then somebody said here, GB. He said, this guy is amazing. Glad to have you here. I think she is Jill Brick. So proud of this young man. XX. Okay, that's good. Is that your girlfriend?
That's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom.
Yeah.
So glad to meet you. Thank you so much. You brought a great product. In fact, this is a great song, Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So glad to have you here. He said, wow, that's so helpful. Somebody said here, this is helpful in programming your mind. That's what Raises Kitchen said. Thank you so much. Another person said, wow, another interesting one. Because every Sunday, there's something happening here. And Raises Kitchen said, using the truth to erase the limiting thoughts. Wonderful. That's why you gave the exercise about the book. Then Jennifer Jackson TV said something. Said, setting goal in life is everything. We need to push forward. Yeah, that's right. That's so right. And then CK Media said, share the streams, guys, because everybody needs to hear this. I want to say thank you, Louie, but there's something I want to say quickly. Now, if you want to contact Louie, leave a message in the comment box and I will get your contact details to Louie. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, in the comment box, I'm going to make sure that I leave details for you to come get in contact with Louie if you want to get in contact, or send me an email or send me a message and I'll make sure that you get in contact with Louie. Louie, I don't know how I'm going to thank you, man. You're just amazing. Every session, I wish I can say, okay, let's just deal on one alone. So you just talk us through. I pray that I get another opportunity to get you in again, because I know you're always traveling. I thought you would be traveling this weekend, maybe going for an event or going for a conference, But I want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate you, man. You're a good friend, a good brother. And from the moment I came in contact with you, you've always inspired me. I will advise everyone here to get in contact with Louie. Go to his funnel, go through his funnel. You'll be amazed at what this man is doing. He's full of money. He's full of ideas. He's full of inspiration. And Louie, I want to say this to you. You're a huge source of inspiration to me. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to everybody who came in today. And I hope to see you again next week at the same time, 6 p.m. I'm going to be bringing in a nurse, but now we're going to be hearing from a doctor who said the COVID-19 to take or not to take, what you need to know. He's a physician. He's a medical doctor, and he's an assistant professor of medicine who'll be talking to us. Louie, thank you so much. God bless you. And I'll be seeing you again next time. Justin, you want to say something?
Please
go ahead.
One last thing. When you post this, for everyone who obviously watched this today, thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate it. I've had a great time sharing this information. I hope you take some of this away and start to implement it and start to see some changes in your life. I'm also going to share a worksheet from the mindset pillar of one of my courses Og, can you share that with everyone when you post this? And you can just work through that, and hopefully it gives you some inspiration and some ideas to actually start implementing some of what we talked about today. So yeah, thank you, Og. I appreciate you as a friend, as a brother, and I've had a great time working with you, and continue to do that. Thank you for having me here. It's been absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate it, and thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you so much. I will leave your link in the bottom, so that when they come into the description, they can download the link and use it for themselves. Thank you so much, Louie, and I'll be seeing you again. Take care and bye for now. So bye everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Louie. Thank you very much. So grateful. Take care. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. I want to say thank you to Oro Vista for coming in. Thank you so much to CK Media. CK Media, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Regis Kitchen, thank you. Jennifer Jackson. Inspirational by Marie. Vivian Shell, thank you so much for coming in. That's your second account there. Oro Vista has become a member. Reina Ngoso Arts and Lifestyle, thank you so much for the super chats. I'm really grateful. Oro Vista, you're a new member. Thank you so much. Daddy Bella, thank you very much for the love that you showed. I want to say so much. I believe that, just like Louis said now, it's better for us to give value, give service to people. And that's what I'm doing here. Now, if you have anything you want me to talk about, or whoever you want me to bring in, let me know, and I'll bring the person in. I want to say thank you so much for coming in once again, and I'll be seeing you again next week.